Spend any amount of time on Twitter, TikTok, or Facebook fan groups, and you'll notice a familiar storyline. Every idol is being mistreated by their agency. Companies are sabotaging their careers. The label favors another member, and that's why my bias should leave. These narratives show up again and again, especially among fans who just like one or two members of a group instead of supporting the entire group. But the question is why? Why do so many fans believe their own idol, who chose to sign with the agency, is endlessly mistreated yet never leaves? Well, if you're ready to geek out with me in the next 15 to 20 minutes, let's try to understand this complicated or not really mindset of fans. Just wanted to clarify that there have been many times in the past where it was the fans who actually first noticed an idol or an entire group or several members of a group being mistreated. And sometimes it's not just about like not giving them enough exposure or lines or it's actual abuse. There've been instances like that. So I'm not saying that all fans who are calling out mistreatment or accusing the management companies or labels to be unfair or whatever. I'm not saying that all of them are wrong, all of them are unreasonable or over dramatic or deranged or crazy or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. There have been many times and where fans were actually proven right. Just wanted to clarify that. Convenient excuse. When an idol isn't achieving the results their fans expect, it's far easier to blame the evil management than to admit less flattering possibilities. Maybe their favorite isn't as commercially popular as they claim, or maybe fans aren't supporting them the right way. By shifting the blame, fans allow their favorite to maintain the stature or level of success they insist the idol deserves, without actually having to do the work to take them there. In this way, the idol's supposed greatness is preserved and all responsibility is outsourced. The agency makes the perfect villain because it's both faceless and quote unquote powerful. Fans don't see the countless staff working behind the scenes. They just see a monolithic company that controls contracts, promotions, and music releases. Blaming management is easier than confronting the more complicated reality. Success isn't guaranteed, and not every idol will dominate the industry. Victimhood feels more intimate. Achievements like trophies, billboard entries, or brand deals are public. Everyone can see them, but when a fan paints their bias as a victim, it feels private and special, as if they alone understand the idol's hidden suffering. That illusion of intimacy creates a stronger emotional bond than celebrating a win ever could. In psychology, this is called illusion of asymmetric insight. This is a well documented psychological bias where people believe they understand others better than others understand them. In a fandom, this gets exaggerated into I know my idol better than other fans, the media, or even their own company does. Fans think they can see through the curated idol image and glimpse the real person, especially when interpreting body language, facial expressions, or subtle moments in interviews and live streams. Another is the special knowledge fallacy. It's a form of personalization in parasocial bonds. In parasocial psychology, fans often underestimate how much they personally understand or connect with a celebrity. The belief that, quote unquote, I notice they're suffering when no one else does gives fans a sense of exclusivity, like they're part of a hidden privileged circle of people who truly get the idol. It then validates the fan. If a fan feels overlooked in their own life, projecting overlooked pain onto their idol gives them a mirrored sense of being special, like both are misunderstood together. And of course, vanity. Claiming unique insight also elevates fans socially within the fandom. I'm not just a casual, I understand the real struggle here. I can't be your partner, but I can be your hero. Positioning idols as powerless gives fans a mission to save them, whether through trending hashtags or exposing evil managers. Fans feel they have purpose. It's not just standing anymore, it's a crusade. Positioning idols as powerless gives fans a mission. This taps into the rescuer role from psychology's drama triangle. If the idol is the victim and the company or critics are the persecutors, then fans get to play the hero. It also reflects white knight syndrome, the urge to protect someone vulnerable as a way of fulfilling one's own emotional needs. In a fandom, fans can't be an idol's partner or peer, but they can be their defender. Their shift turns standing into a crusade. Defending their bias provides a sense of intimacy and, more importantly, purpose. They aren't just consuming music, they're fighting for justice, which feels far more meaningful. The allure of the underdog. Of course, culturally, we just root for underdogs. When an idol is framed as the overlooked, mistreated member, they become a hero in waiting. Supporting them feels like rewriting destiny. Fans aren't just consumers anymore. Sure, they can't be a partner or a close friend, but they are something more important, an integral part of the redemption arc. Transfers responsibility. If an idol isn't charting well or lacks promotion, fans can shift the blame to the company. Suddenly, they're not failing as fans. It's the agency that's failing the idol. This protects their self image and keeps them from questioning their own level of support. By doing this, fans also avoid confronting their own inadequacies. Maybe they didn't stream enough, buy enough albums, or mobilize effectively. Admitting that would mean facing uncomfortable truths about their limits as fans. Instead, the blame gets outsourced upwards. It also prevents conflict within the fandom itself. If numbers are disappointing, the easy target would be to point fingers at other fans. You didn't work hard enough. But that kind of infighting risks fracturing the community. So rather than fight each other, fans unite against a faceless but powerful villain. The agency, the narrative becomes neat and safe. The idol is innocent. The fans are blameless, and the company is the culprit. Negativity spreads faster. Algorithms love outrage. Posts about mistreatment travel faster and faster than celebratory ones. Fans know this subconsciously. A thread about an unfair line distribution will trend quicker than one about sold out concerts. Victimhood becomes a tool to hack engagement. Social media runs on what's called the rage economy. Platforms profit when we're angry because outrage keeps us clicking, sharing, and scrolling. It's a $1 billion system where algorithms amplify conflict since division drives data and data drives ad revenue. So, why rage? Well, research shows anger spreads 3 times faster than joy on social media, especially across weak social ties. Evolution wired us to react strongly to threats, and online, that translates into outrage posts, feeling urgent and impossible to ignore. Anger is also high arousal. It pushes people to act, share, comment, and repost. Algorithms reward this. Studies show moralized or emotional posts reach far more people than neutral or uplifting ones. In fandom, that means a thread about line distribution mistreatment will always outperform a celebratory post about a sold out concert. Victimhood then becomes more than a narrative. It's a tool to hack engagement in an online world where outrage is currency. Weakness is power. Once your idol is framed as a victim, defending them becomes a righteous cause. Critics look like bullies, and the fan instantly gains moral authority. The victim narrative not only shields the idol, but also protects the fans from accountability. This ties directly into Adlerian psychology, which argues that the weakest person in the room often wields the most power. Alfred Adler observed that weakness, or even the perception of weakness, can be weaponized. The powerless command attention because any attempt to oppose them risks looking cruel or oppressive. Take a baby in a room, for example. Everyone is going to put the interest of the child ahead of everybody else because the child is helpless. If anybody opposes that, then they are heartless. In the fandom, this plays out perfectly. When fans cast their bias as the mistreated underdog, they transform them into the most powerful figure in the narrative. The bias no longer needs proof of chart success or accolades. Their suffering is enough to justify loyalty and action. For the fan, aligning themselves with this constructed weakness becomes a shortcut to moral superiority. They aren't just standing anymore, they're standing on the right side of justice, all without having to face the uncomfortable reality that idols, like anyone else, are complex, capable, and not perpetually helpless. Avoiding power. This is going to sound a little weird, but idols are wealthy, or at least they have some money. They are influential, definitely, and they are adored, sometimes worldwide. This can be intimidating. So, casting them as helpless victims strips that power away and makes them feel approachable. For fans, vulnerability feels warmer and more relatable than untouchable stardom. Defending feels more active than uplifting. Fans often want to do something for their idol. Posting a congratulations tweet feels passive. Fighting against mistreatment feels like action. That's why victim narratives mobilize fandom faster. Hashtags, mass streaming campaigns, and stan wars all create the illusion of impact. And that's what the fans want. They want to be assured that they are actually tangibly contributing to the success of their idols. Simply saying congratulations doesn't affect any outcome. But guilt tripping everybody into supporting your own project sure does. Projection of personal struggles. For many, idols are mirrors. Fans project their own feelings of loneliness, unfairness, or struggle onto their bias. Painting idols as victims validates the fans' own pain and makes their support feel personal and therapeutic. And to a certain degree, they feel a little bit more connected because they think that they actually share something in common. Will these fans ever change? Unlikely, at least not easily. Victim narratives are rooted in emotions, not facts. Receipts and logic rarely convince someone who has built their fandom identity around protecting a wronged idol. At the end of the day, most victim narratives in fandom are less about the idol and more about the fan. Casting a bias as mistreated gives fans a sense of purpose, lets them play the hero in a parasocial relationship, and keeps them at the emotional center of the story. It's not really about protecting the artist, it's about protecting the fans' identity and their need for meaning. That's also why engaging with them almost always backfires. These fans live on attention. Every reply, retweet, or argument fuels their visibility. Outrage is their currency, and the more you feed it, the stronger they become. In the rage economy, attention, even negative attention, is power. The better choice is to concentrate on the art, celebrate the music, the performances, the artistry, redirecting every energy toward the work itself starves victim narratives of the spotlight they crave. Because the truth is, these obsessions usually point to something deeper: insecurities, loneliness, or a hunger for significance that fandom temporarily fills. Idol obsession and the victim narratives are just the surface manifestation of that, and no amount of arguing online will resolve what is, at its core, a personal issue. So, the healthiest move, fans, critics, and even idols themselves, is to stop playing into the cycle. Don't fight them on the battlefield. Instead, keep the focus where it belongs, on the art, not the outrage. There is really no point in engaging with them. It's a bigger issue. It's not really in most instances their obsession over believing and imposing their belief that their bias or their favorite artist is being mistreated is really less about the artist and more about a bigger problem in their life. And unless you actually know the person, there's really nothing you can do. And probably even if you do know the person, there's really very little you can do. So the best thing to do is to just continue supporting the artist in ways that matter. Listening to their music. If they have other projects, support those projects. And it's really just best to stay away. Amplifying the rage, amplifying their voice, responding to them, trying to explain to them is not really going to go anywhere. um, you could present 100,000 pieces of evidence to them and they will still not believe. People will believe what they want to believe. So, okay, I would love to hear your thoughts though. Just wanted to clarify again that I'm not saying that all fans are wrong. Certainly, there have been many times, one too many times, where fans were actually the first one to notice and then eventually proven right. So, I'm not saying all are wrong, all are unreasonable, overdramatic, or whatever. Okay? Just wanted to make that clear. You should be seeing a QR code right now on your screen. So I hope that you can donate to the channel. We are expanding it. Please go to our website, asianentertainmentandculture.com. It is on a soft launch right now, but the traffic or any kind of input would be appreciated. And then if you have any comments, any suggestions, it would be great. Please follow me on XIG, but also more importantly on Patreon, because that's where the community is. Lots of conversations going. As we expand the channel, we're also expanding the chat, the communities in Patreon. Uh, Also, the YouTube membership is open. I do have a live stream exclusive to members, and that never goes public. So, hope that you can subscribe to that as well. Different topics there. And yeah, that's it. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you know when we post a video. And share the video. That is one thing that will really help us because that's going to help the algorithm or tell the algorithm that to push us more. Okay, thank you so much and see you next time.